We talk a lot here about Columbia in terms of development of body of work. This is access to really develop your body of work. Portfolio Center is intertwined with like the thematic programming of this in regards to the fact that we want to develop that body of work, and we also want you to document it. And this is just a great vehicle to be able to, again, create that work, have it funded, and have a really, really solid portfolio piece. There's a lot more that goes into Kickstarter, but I think that that's a big reason why we want to do this kind of programming here at Columbia.
So, Kickstarter. I hope you all know this. We are a platform for funding creative projects. A Kickstarter project is something specific and finite, right? It has a beginning and an end. It's a project. It includes rewards. Those rewards benefit you guys, the creators of those projects, but also backers, the people who are pledging money to your project. It's an equal exchange. An important thing to know about Kickstarter is that the funding is all or nothing. So when you create a project on Kickstarter, you set a goal and a period of time to reach that goal within, usually about 30 days or so. A really cool thing that we've seen is once a project hits just 30% of its goal, it is succeeded over 90% of the time. So once your project has momentum, once you believe in it, once you have a core group of supporters who also believe in it, you will succeed. I think a lot of people feel nervous about the process of making a video, and I can say that whether or not you're holding up your iPhone, in a well-lit area, of course, not a lot of background sound, and just sharing your story with the world, or you're making something a little fancier, a little more creative, it's really about that connection and really getting people excited about the thing you're excited about. Something you do not want to do is offer the $100 tote bag. This is not the pledge drive model. This is not about donations. So love PBS, awesome, but not that. Again, this idea of exchange of value. I give you $10, you give me $10 or something in exchange. So something that people really sweat over is what to set their funding goal at, right? How much money should I ask for? And for everyone, this is different. In the news, you may have seen a lot of projects that are $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 projects, but those are really special cases. The average project is, I'll talk about that in a minute, but really, again, it's about thinking about what your number should be, how much money you need, how much money you can get. Really important to keep in mind, of course, that you can always raise more than your goal. So if you set a $5,000 goal, the sky is the limit, but you have to hit that $5,000 mark or you don't get in. So, in fact, the average successful goal on Kickstarter is just $4,500. This is where a lot of individuals like you and me, average Joes, are finding a lot of success. People statistically do raise more than they set out to raise. On average, it's about 130% of their goal, so 30% over what they set out to raise. So good news there, $6,100 being the average. That really tall green bar, that's successful projects that raise between $1,000 and $5,000. So that's almost half of all the projects on the site. That's where all the energy is happening. Not all, but a lot. This is where a lot of people are seeing success and having a good time, I think, while doing it. The shorter bar immediately to the right, that's projects in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. So if you take these first 3 bars up to $10,000, that's 2/3 of the projects on the site. This is where it's happening. Everything all the way over to that little sliver all the way on the right, which is projects over $100,000. We're up to about 10 of them, sorry, not 10. We're up to about 100 of those, but it's still 100 out of 50,000, not a huge number, right? So when helping people figure out what they can set their funding goal at, we kind of figured out this janky formula. It may or may not work. But the average number of backers on Kickstarter is 86. Again, it's a steady number, it's consistent, it's 86. If you multiply that by the average pledge amount, which, as I said earlier, was $71, you would get $6,100, which also I said earlier is the average amount raised on Kickstarter. So we were like, okay, well maybe there's a formula there. So maybe if you were to think about how many people can I get to support this project, look at your social networks, figure out who those people are, multiply that by the average pledge amount, maybe you'd find your total. Your backers are predominantly people in your social network, in your own network. 75%, even 85% of the people who back a Kickstarter project are from your own network. They're your friends, they're your family, they're your Facebook friends, they're your Twitter followers. If you get any press, that it's, or any press you do, it's the people that you know and regularly engage with. Once someone backs a project, they're automatically subscribed to this thing. So every time you make an update, it gets delivered to their inbox. It's really cool. The most common kind of thing you share through project updates is your process. Today we went to the recording studio. It was rad. Today I got the artwork for my CD cover and it was terrible. these are things that people really want to hear. We have Matt, we have AJ, we have Kristen, we have Justin. Do you guys have any questions for our panel? So Kristen, you guys had a pretty significant goal, $18,000. So maybe talk a little bit how you set that goal and at what stage in the film. Because films have long timelines. When did you decide to do the Kickstarter? I mean, you had already some footage and stuff happening.
Yeah, I think in our case, showing that we already had done some of the work, that we had already gotten far enough along in our process and our project was really important. So you're showing people like, hey, we're committed to this, we're committed to you, and this is what we're why we're using Kickstarter, and this is what we're set out to do next. And that's why I think like being specific about that and what you're using the funds for, and then doing those updates are really important so that people trust you, because there's a lot of trust with these kinds of, as we call it, collaborative consumerism systems. The trust is really key.